Almost, yeah. Also, why do you never charge your phone? Told you your phone was retarded. I told you your phone was retarded. Anyways, can you see? Okay, good. But yeah, continue. Close it a bit. Yes. Okay. Okay. Are you you were talking the whole time, so like I didn't want to interrupt you. Say please. Please what? Okay, good. This is not cool. Alrighty. You came to this airport to rendezvous with the victim, didn't you? Nonsense. What are you talking about? The profile detailing information about you and the victim's luggage. I suppose you prepared for him so that he could recognize you when you landed. Which makes him not Mr. Hicks, but rather Interpol agent Hicks. Isn't that correct? I should have known you figured it out. But it looks like they got to him first. Is it related from your to see the Interpol agent thing? Yes. Agent Hicks was on the trail of a very large international smuggling ring. He went undercover to investigate this crime, and it was I who put him on this case. I was supposed to receive a call from him on his cell phone once he had landed. I never expected to receive a call about his murder instead. We have pretty definitive evidence that Agent Hicks came down here with this cargo. What was he doing down here, sir? There's nothing but luggage. Oh, I get it. Maybe you forgot something in a suitcase and came down to get it. Agent Hicks came here for a work-related reason. Of that, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure he was here to investigate the smuggling operation he was observing. Francesca, do you know exactly how he intended to pursue this investigation? No. Unfortunately, I'll even know how. I was going to find out from him after he landed. I see, but this raises another question. The only passenger can access the cargo hold now. Agent Dixon should like the driver's side to remember this not before. Use the cargo hold without person leaving the weapon. Yes, then he was murdered here. These glass fragments and broken glass are attesting to that. They will put Agent Dixon into one of the spare suitcases and it's available while you're riding up. When you hit that path of turbulence, because of the intense shaking, the suitcase popped open and Agent Dixon's body flew out. At the same time, his wallet fell out of his pocket, spilling its contents everywhere. Stolen rivalries and money scattered all over the elevator floor. Nice. Investigation complete. I think it's pretty easy to say who the culprit is at this stage. What? Really, sir? I know that what you're thinking, Miles Edgeworth. But the killer can be none other than Miss Rhoda Teniro. Oh boy. More. If it was a crew member, any one of them could have changed and fixed the cargo hold. But the point to keep in mind is that the key card that allows the elevator to come down here. The only person with such power to access is Miss Rhoda Teniro. I'd say that's a pretty decisive piece of information, wouldn't you? I know what she's trying to say, but I'm not certain it's as simple as that.
Hold it!
You press you on that. But it's highly likely that the keycard was stolen from Miss Teniro.
Objection!
It's highly likely? Is that possibility the best you can come up with? And you call yourself a disciple of my father? Yes, well, I don't have any evidence. Be quiet. You're a disgrace. No evidence points to Miss Rhoda Teniro. It's not just the keycard gives her away. Are you talking about the murder weapon after the Hugo piggy bank? Yes! She was also the only person with the key to open that display case. Further, there's another of the keys to the display case that held the murderer's bank.
Hold it!
That is a fake. Alright, stop right there, Miles Edgeworth. You don't have any proof that this is just a red herring. If you must keep on insisting that it's fake, then what is the real murder weapon, and where did it go? Speechless, I see. That's not a surprise. After all, you know that we just searched the entire cargo hold and go empty-handed. There must be a way. There must be something that can help you rule out that piggy bank as a murder weapon. It should be examined further to help us ascertain the authenticity of the weapon. I would say the body. Francesca, I think you were too quick to jump to your conclusions. Oh, was I? Yes, we don't have the autopsy results yet. I do not say that you made a snap judgment that you have yet to concede. If the wound remains in its head is consistent with the murder weapon. Scruffy! Yes, sir. Contact the medical examiner's office at once. I was to hear the results of Agent Hicks's autopsy. Yeah, yes, sir. You got a big problem, Mr. Edgewood, sir. What is it, detective? They're still doing the autopsy, but they said that they already know this one thing for sure. Report, now. The doc said that it's one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. The victim's shoulder to his mid-back? He was beaten over such a wide area. Well, I'd say maybe it's a sign to fill out a grudge against Agent Hicks. It wasn't just his head. He didn't know how to hit him multiple times, sir. Scruffy, what is had a grudge against Agent Hicks supposed to mean? Well, that's... was it one of the victims had consistent with a murder weapon, detective? Oh, well, they said they were still looking into that, sir. You're completely useless! Jeez, that whip. Sir, I told you already, you can't go down there. No, you remove yourself from my way. What is all that racket? Oh. My luggage, my cargo, they're mine, and I demand you return them to me. We're still investigating the cargo load. Please understand and have a little patience. I suppose there is no choice. Finally, hey, what are you? You look like you know so, but they use strong force. You won't get past me. This is... Wait, that's it. So that's what this whole thing was about. Further, there's a matter of the keys to the display case that held the murderer's bank. After all, you know you searched the entire cargo hold and you were empty-handed. The doc said that this one giant bruise from a beating from his shoulder down to his mid-back. Was he pushed off the stairs? Was he pushed off the stairs? Allegedly, the killer struck the victim many times over. So why there was extensive bruising over such a wide area? Is that really the correct conclusion to draw from the evidence? The bruise from his shoulder to the middle of his back is one continuous mark, which is more suggestive of a single blow to the back. If that's the case, then the piggy bank is much too small to have caused that. Therefore, the murder weapon must be something far bigger. We're looking for a rather large weapon. You'd think it would stick out. But so far, we haven't found anything that resembles a weapon of any sort. Perhaps it's something we all overlooked from the very beginning. Because normally it's too impossibly big to be taken into consideration. What was that all about? Were you trying to jump his way down here? Francesca. What? What do you want? I found it, Francesca. I found the real murder weapon. You did? You really jumped. We didn't realize it until now, but the answer has been right in front of us this whole time. He might be hurt. We should go check up on him, sirs. You don't care. There's that honest attitude of yours again. You should learn to drop that habit. This coming from the prosecutor with the habit of whipping everyone she comes across. Anyway, if you really are a prosecutor, then you'll back yourself up with evidence. You aren't listening at all, are you? Come on, man. Show me this real murder weapon. There's no evidence to show. I don't have any evidence to show you. Foolish reasoning for a foolish fool from a foolishly foolish fool meant to fool me. Wow, that's quite a sentence. Three. No, I just want to know if you're okay. Okay, good. What do you mean by I don't have any evidence to show? Practice phrase it as that which causes Nick's death is incorporeal. Forgive me, but I do believe I figured out what was the real cause of death. It was clearly a free fall. The victim fell from a great height and subsequently died as a result. In other words, the real cause of death is free falling to the ground. He fell to his death? Yes, it's the only possible possibility. The victim has extensive bruising on the back of his head and his back. The only rational explanation for these injuries is that he fell to his death. But the murder happened inside this plane. I know. Are you thinking that there is some place in this plane from which he could have fallen from? As I said earlier, the answer has been right in front of us the entire time. You can't mean. Yes, I do. The victim fell from the top of the stairs of this very cargo hole. What? Then we're in trouble. You're gonna have a second death on our hands, sirs. Hey, you! Tell me you aren't dead, pal. Quiet! Why are you screaming? He's alive. And there you have it, Miles Edgeworth. It's not possible that Aiden Hicks fell over the railing to his death. That man is living proof of that. I suppose it's true that it's not possible, given the current circumstances. The current circumstances? What is that supposed to mean? Suppose that Life Cargo wasn't there at the time. What would have happened then? It would have been a Virginian pancake for sure, sir. I suppose that man over there wouldn't still be breathing. But the reality is that the cargo box is there. So there is no point in entertaining your wild hypothetical scenarios. It may be there. There is no proof that it was always there. I think there could have been a window of time when the giant box was not there. But there was. What? What could I use to show that there was a possible box? They had stopped at Zhang Fa at that other place. It's here somewhere.
Take that!
You refueled in the Republic of Zhang Fa? Yes, this flight had a short layover in Zhang Fa in order to refuel. That wasn't the only reason for the layover. They also transferred some cargo. What if the box in question was only transferred into the plane at that time? For the proof of my point, take a look at what's next to the box in question. It's labeled Zhang Fa Expresses. Correct, meaning it was loaded onto the plane in Zhang Fa. Now, what if the box in question was also loaded on at the same time? It would mean that the box was not here in the cargo hold during the Europe Zhang Fa leg of the flight, making a clear drop from which Aiden Hicks could have fallen to his death entirely possible. But your theory is still very far-fetched. Allow me a chance to prove how very likely this scenario is. My first order of business would be to examine that piece of cargo in detail. More investigating. Move. This is a rather large piece of cargo. It's inside of them, sir. Let's see. Olive Red Statue. Never heard of it. Well, but all I care about is if the computer wasn't here at the time of the crime. Let's get investigating, sir. Alright. How did you let him get past you? You suck. Look here. Don't go about touching my possessions without my permission. Ah, don't rush up on me like that, pal. This one's Mr. LeBlanc, does it? Let's see what else I can find out from him. I take it that this large piece of cargo belongs to you, Mr. LeBlanc. Of course it's mine. I shifted this fine piece of art from Europe. This Alif Red statue is worth 10 million cents. No, maybe much, much more. That doesn't sound like a lot, to be honest. Mr. LeBlanc's reason for choosing this plan must have been large cargo. Let me see how much 10 million cents is. It's $100,000. It is quite a bit for a person, but like for a rich person or even a middle class person, it's not, the craziest thing. But for us, yeah, that's a lot. 10 million cents? I suggest you start trying to calculate how many packets of noodles that makes, detective. Darn, how did you do that? I feel like you keep getting better and better at seeing right through me every year. So I grow with each revolution between around the sun. I have a distinct impression that he continues to madly spin in place. Mr. Edgeworth, so that's 10 million cents. Is that in euros or in dollars? Does it really make a difference to our case? Mr. LeBlanc, there is a chance that Chicago is related to our murder case. I'm wondering if you could allow us to examine it a bit closer. It's a very valuable piece of art, so no! There will be no touching! What a dickhead. Jeez. For real, looks like we can ramen noodles. Oh. So they were trying to smuggle the art. That makes sense. Mr. LeBlanc has something to do with this smuggling ring. And it's possible this fake statue was brought on board in Sengfa. I think I need to question him a bit further. Hey, ramen noodle. Here. How about your statue, Mr. LeBlanc? I wonder if it might be a fake. What? How dare you say my art is fake? I suspect that your statue might be the target of an international smuggler. Don't say such fantastical things. Those thieves would not dare. I have the certification of my cargo right here. You mean the cargo certification document? Mr. Zinc LeBlanc, why didn't you say so earlier? Please show it to us at once. I can't read this. What does it say? It says plain as day, the cargo was put onto the plane in Europe. There you have it, Mr. Edgeworth. Too bad for you. This statue was brought on board in Europe, just as it states in this certificate. No, which means that there was never a window of time in which the statue wasn't sitting there. I respectfully disagree. You can't discuss the theory until I see the statue for myself. Then you can have your wish. Look at it yourself and see I am right. This. I know I've seen this somewhere before. This is the Alif Red. It gives off such a feeling of art. I can practically smell it. This statue has a high amount of historic value. I think it was unveiled at the museum in Europe. I brought it to this country to exhibit it. Leave a closer look is warranted here. So this is the infamous Elite Red statue. What is it, Mr. Edward? Why is something? There's something wrong with this picture. We should examine it in more detail. Go down, hold on now. Hey bro, why are you covering it up like that? Like, look at it. See how the bottom is just covered up with the tarp? Yeah, what's up with this? Have you saw something in any evidence I hold? Wait a minute.
Eureka!
Fuck. I was trying to look at it. Alright. Yeah. This is what it was.
Eureka!
There's clearly a contradiction here. What are you going on about? It's just a simple case of cargo getting stuck under another piece of cargo. That's not possible. But it is. It shouldn't be this way. But the statue was on top of the cloth. I see. So if the statue was always there, then it wouldn't be on top of the cloth at all. Since it's on top of the cloth, that means it was put there after, It was put there after the freaking, the other package from Zheng Fa got there. So it wasn't always there. Supposing that the neighboring piece of cargo was brought on board in Zheng Fa. There's no way that any part of it should wind up under something in Europe. Which means that this big statue was smuggled on board in Zheng Fa. But then what about the cargo certificate? Let me ask in return, what about Adrian Hicks? Why did he come down here in the middle of the flight? There was only one reason why. Secure proof of smuggling activity on board this flight. So you said, but I don't believe he had to do that mid-flight. He could have just easily inspected all the cargo after the plane landed. That may be true. However, you have it backwards, Francesca. Sure, Aiden Hicks could have waited until after the plane had landed. But he had a reason for coming down to the cargo hold. Suppose he had found the fake at the airport. It would have been after the swap had occurred. At that time, suspicion would naturally fall into the statue's owner. He would have no way to prove that the statue was switched without his knowledge. Which means there was someone involved who was forging or modifying cargo certificates. Ooh. I believe that even further examination would be required. Oh yeah, confirmed that this was brought on board in Zheng Fa. There's some sort of proof that the statue is indeed a fake. I will present to you the evidence that will resolve the remaining contradiction. It's okay. Wait a minute. The eyes here are red.
Eureka!
These eyes are awfully orange, don't you think? Yeah, pretty. They remind me of sunsets when I was in grade school, sir. Shut up, don't you? I don't think you see what I'm talking about. No, I do. It's really like the color of the sun when it's setting, sir. Ah, the memories. I remember standing out in that field, spinning with my arms out until I felt ill. I don't care about the sunsets. Focus, detective. What color are the eyes in this photo? Huh? Ah, sir, they're red. As I thought, this statue is a fake. Mr. LeBlanc, what do you want? Do you not know I'm a busy man? I'll allow you 2 seconds for your answer. The Elite Red, I suppose this is your pride and joy, is it not? It is the biggest trophy on this European trip. Do you know why I once possessed this statue? Trigger started 17 years ago. Grab a chair, sir. This is going to be a long story. Mr. LeBlanc, I regret to inform you, and you have my heartfelt sympathy, but... What is that? Sympathy? For what? You'll see. Let's compare the eyes. That large fellow there has very bright and pretty eyes compared to you. I wasn't talking about the two of us. I meant the eyes of the statue in front of us and the one in this photo. Why a sudden yelling? Now then. Oh. It is a photo of the statue on display at the museum in Europe. How do you see Richard LeBlanc? The statue before us is the fake. A fake! I guess the victim knew the real version of this was gonna get nabbed, huh? Yes. While this photo could have been seen as nothing more than a simple souvenir, it was in fact taken to be used as a reference document later on. Next, Agent Hicks had to secure proof that the smuggling had taken place. He came down here to take a picture of the cargo hold. A rather empty one at that, right before the fake statue could have been loaded aboard. A photo of the hold missing a valuable piece of cargo would have been proof enough. After that, all he had to do was hold the Zhengfa cargo crew and arrest the smuggler. Exactly. This only goes to prove my theory. If the statue was not in the cargo hold during the Europe and Zhengfa look at the trip, there would have been enough height from which Agent Hicks could have fallen to his death. Officer! Move the statue immediately. I want a thorough examination of the floor underneath. Now! Mr. One Karma, I'm ready to report my findings. Go on. After moving the Elite statue out of the way, he tested the area under it with luminol, and there was a reaction. Aha! Well. What do we have here? I see. There was a reaction to luminol, an indication that there was blood in that spot. If you stop looking at it now, sirs, it will seem that my deductions were correct after all. I suppose it would appear that way. The culprit cleaned the blood up well. And how do you think the killer did that? How did the killer clean up all the blood? It's simple, really. With this cloth.
Take that!
The killer used the bloody cloth I found inside his suitcase to clean up the mess. I see. They had a need to clean up all the blood before the plane landed in Zhengfa. Yes, because otherwise the cargo crew would have discovered it during the layover. So you guys are saying the murder happened before the plane landed in Zhengfa? There's no other conceivable time for the events of the murder. If that is true, it throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. Who do you think it is? Agree. Well, you heard what I just said, right? But if that is true, then that throws a certain person's testimony into doubt. What do you think it is? If the murder occurred before you admitted in Zhengfa, then this becomes highly suspect. What do you think it is? Nope. It's... I already recall Mrs. Mills' testimony about Aiden Hicks in regards when we departed Zhengfa. I saw Mr. Hicks sitting in his seat at 5 a.m., you know. She claims Aiden Hicks was alive at the time of the service calls, but that totally contradicts the facts, sir. Well, how would she lie about something like that? I think the only person who can answer that is Miss Meal herself. To be continued. It's okay if you didn't remember. It happened a long time ago, so it's fine. Miss Meal. Miss Meal! Do you recall what you said earlier about when you answered some service calls as we were departing from Zhengfa? You said that Mr. Hicks was sitting in his seat at that time. However, that is simply not possible, because Mr. Hicks was dead long before we ever touched down in Zhengfa. Oh? Miss Cammy Meal. Maybe I didn't see what I thought I did. I can make a mistake so large, Miss Meal. But I make that kind of boo-boo all the time. This is going nowhere. There must be a better way of resolving this contradiction. Very well, Miss Meal. Please, tell me about your alibi during the time span. Just before we were learning at 3 a.m. At 6 a.m. the body was found. Are you telling me I'm a suspect, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, yeah. From 3 to 4, I was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. Yeah. And from 5 to 6, I was in the flight attendant's room all by my lonesome self. How was I supposed to react to a testimonial like that? Miss Meal, wake up. Ah. She fell asleep again. It looks like the only way I'm going to be able to wake her up is by pressing her.
Hold it!
Miss Meal, wake the fuck up. I'm awake. Miles Edgeworth, I demand that you do something about this flight attendant this instant. You're the one with the whip. Go whip her. Why ask me to wake her when you can finally put that whip into an appropriate use? See, that's what I'm saying. Jesus. From 3 to 4, I was in the flight attendant's room.
Hold it!
Not so fast. If I remember correctly, food was being served in first class and the lounge between the hours of 3 and 4 a.m. Yeah, but that kind of stuff is run by Miss Rhoda. What were you doing in the attendance room at that time? Eating and then having a most delicious dream. Maybe you were neglecting your duties. No way. Sleeping's part of our job too, you know. Yeah.
Hold it!
This meal, how many times do I have to repeat myself? Wake up! I'm awake. I'm awake. What the fuck? What did you whip me for? Oh, what did I miss? I poured us after being on the receiving end of a lash in your stead. Really? Sorry about that. You can make amends for that by continuing with your testing. From 5 to 6, I was in the flight attendant's room, out by my lonesome self. Do you have any evidence that contradicts that? Wait, what did she just say? 5 to 6. Zoom in. 5:40 a.m.? Oh yeah, that's a contradiction, buddy.
Objection!
I wonder if you were so kind as to take a look at this receipt, Miss Meal. Huh? A receipt? For what? It's for the suitcase, Miss Tenai bought. If I may direct your attention to the timestamp. As you can clearly see, it says 5:40 a.m., Miss Teniro. Yes? Huh? Why is the killer here? I thought you have her locked up by now. I requested that she be present as a witness so that we may straighten out your complex lie. Now then, Miss Teniro, 2 hours at 5 and 6 a.m. You took a trip from first class down to the first floor in-flight shop, correct? Yes, I went to the shop to buy a suitcase. After which I went straight to the attendance room to drop it off. And did you see Miss Meal there at that time? No. So, Miss Meal, where were you really between the hours of 5 and 6 a.m.? This bitch. Miss Cammy Meal. Huh? The bathroom? I'll be the one to ask the questions here. Yeah, maybe that's it. Probably just missed her. Nature calls, you know. You took me for a fool. It's a little too convenient to be true. But it's the truth. It's my part. I don't have enough conclusive proof for me to argue at this stage. You don't believe it, do you? But please, give me a chance and hear me out. Look, I know you're suspecting me because I'm one of the crew. But you think then maybe you should also suspect Miss Rhoda too. She's the one in charge of the elevator keycard and the shop, you know. If you ask me, that makes her super suspicious. Please leave Miss Tenira out of the conversation. Only you are under suspicion for now. I don't get it. Why are you covering for Miss Rhoda all of a sudden? Oh, now I get it. Maybe you've got your eye on Miss Rhoda. Of course I'm keeping an eye on her. I can't very well let her escape, can I? Never mind. But you want to know something? Miss Rhoda actually kind of like... I have absolutely no interest in people who can't appreciate my sense of design. Not the time for this sort of talk. And what are you in charge of, Miss Meal? I take care of the attendance room. That doesn't count. But I spend so much time in there, it might as well be my responsibility. So I wrote, Amy is very talented in languages. So she assists passengers who may not speak English, especially those who speak Organian. She is the only one on this flight who is fluent. Oh? You mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Oh, you mean that kind of what am I in charge of? Why didn't you say so in the first place? What else could I have meant? Yeah, so I'm really good at Borginian. She's fluent in Borginian. I suppose you're in charge of processing documents in Borginian. Yeah, I take care of anything that has to do with Borginian. Very interesting. Interesting indeed. Interesting indeed. If you look at this is in Borginian.
Objection!
Oh. Can you explain it to me? Okay, I did a statement.
Objection!
So, you're the only one in this flight crew that speaks Borginian. Is that correct? Oh, yeah, I guess so. I studied abroad in Borginia for a while. If that's the case, then the signature on this document belongs to you, doesn't it? This is a falsified piece of documentation with only one purpose: to lead anyone who read it to believe that Mr. Lamong's statue was built in Europe. The only person who could have either prepared or processed this document in Borginian is you, Miss Meal. Without your participation, smuggling of the elite bread could not have occurred. Don't sleep while I'm pointing my finger at you. I wouldn't dream of falling asleep on you, Mr. Edgeworth. Oh, the meter completely changed. Also, why do you have some bubbles? It is exactly as you said. Are you confessing to have participated in the smuggling? No, far from it. It's true that I was the one who signed off on that document. But you can't use that fact alone to make your allegation of smuggling stick. There is no direct correlation after all. All you have is my signature on a piece of paper. Really? All you did was sign it? I neglected to check that the file had been loaded into the plane properly. So, sorry about that. Seems that she's finally woken up. This is going to be one tough fight. Suppose, and this is a supposition, even if I was involved in the smuggling, you can't throw the charge of murder on me just like that.
Objection!
If you were involved in the smuggling, you would have a strong motive to kill. Agent Hicks was in the middle of an investigation regarding the smuggling. And just when he was about to close in, he's killed by a member of that ring. Well, did you ever stop to think that maybe Rhoda's a smuggling member? After all, unlike me, Rhoda has access to many things in this plane for work purposes. So perhaps there is some motive to set up that play in this case. What are you talking about? Don't worry, I wasn't talking about you. I meant the killer. First, it was myself, and now Miss Tenara, who was under the microscope. seems to me that our killers can use the great lengths to put this in this crime on anyone they can. You have no proof that Rhoda is being set up, or that she isn't. Actually, I believe that she was indeed the intended target from the very beginning. I believe that the plan was to push all the blame for the crime onto her. And this evidence will prove my suspicions. This proves that the killer was out to frame Senaro from the very beginning. The suitcase.
Take that!
The killer could have hidden the body anywhere, and yet they chose the suitcase. Why is that? Perhaps it was to move the body up from the lower deck to the first floor. However, why go through the trouble to do so? The only way all of these actions make sense is if the killer had wanted to frame Senaro for the murder. If Senaro buys a suitcase on every flight she works without fail. But should her suitcase be switched with one containing the victim's body? That would put her in a very tight spot. Unfortunately, the killer, Servant, was put an end to that plan. There wasn't enough time to put the body back into the suitcase. Here go. They made do with whoever was at hand, adapted their plan, and tried to frame me as I lay unconscious on the floor from the turbulence. The killer then went to hide the suitcase in the flight shop, and brought the piggy bank back to the elevator in order to fabricate a false weapon. A lot of work for a fruitless endeavor, wouldn't you agree? Sounds like the killer had a tough time too, huh? I mean, why did the killer need to frame someone that badly anyway? That is because of the special circumstances surrounding this particular case. What special circumstances is getting the need for the killer to frame someone? Where the murder took place. The special circumstances is that the murder took place on the plane mid-flight. No matter which country, custom is quite strict in this day and age. No matter what you do, the chances that the body will be found is very high. Therefore, there is no choice but to frame either the Senaro or himself. In other words, the only one who fits within the boundaries of the criminal's movements is not Mr. Senaro or himself, but you, Miss Kenny Neal. Only you and you alone could be the killer. And are you done already? I was about to fall asleep again. Anyway, let's be honest here. You don't have anything on me other than a whole lot of circumstantial evidence. Here. See the outline of how the murder occurred, but I have no definitive evidence. And isn't there a piece of evidence that's still unaccounted for? Something that I still can't quite fit into the big picture. The cell phone.
Take that!
I don't have any actual evidence. I thought not. But that's because it went missing. It still is. Missing? What do you mean by that? The complex puzzle about this case, there was one piece that kept getting stuck on. And that is the victim's cell phone. Francesca, we were at the airport for a phone call from Agent Hicks's cell phone. Or at least that's what you told me. That's right. But Agent Hicks's cell phone cannot be found at the crime scene. And the killer took the phone with them? Precisely. I suspect that if we were to find that phone, it will lead us to the killer. Come on, get serious. If the victim fell to his death from that height, wouldn't his phone break as well? We won't know that until we travel to experiment, will we? Francesca, I'd like to ask for your assistance. You know the victim's phone number, do you not? Of course I do. Agent Nix's phone is ringing from somewhere, sir. I hear it, Detective. And who is it coming from? What are we going to find us in this room, sir? Oh, let me find out. Hold up. The ring is coming from somewhere in here, sir. You know, someone turned this up the gumshoe. You must find it. It's coming from here, sir. What? No, it can't be. I knew she whipped out a planet in her locker. It's gotta be the victim's cell phone. But whose locker is this, sir? It's Miss Tenairo's. What? So, Mr. Edgeworth, how did it go? Where did you find the phone? Found it in the flat attendant's room, in Miss Tenairo's locker. What? What? Rhoda Tenairo. I don't know anything about the phone. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Miss Von Karma, is it? I suggest you arrest Miss Rhoda Tenairo right away.
Objection!
Wait, I have a theory. This is related to the incident with the key card. When the killer went to steal the key card, they conveniently stashed a cell phone in Miss Tenairo's locker at the same time.
Objection!
This is related to the key card, alright. In the same way that we have zero proof that the killer did just that. The only voice that sings the truth is evidence. That is the one bird we cannot ignore. What should I do? Jessica's right. I can't offer baseless conjectures at this point. Alright, how difficult to take the cell phone from Agent Hicks? This is something very incriminating on it.
Hold it!
What now, Miles Edgeworth? It's not over yet. We have yet to figure out why the killer took the phone. What? Inside this phone lies the final piece of incriminating evidence that will point us to our killer. We need to examine this phone in more detail. Ah, it's a camera lens. Come to think of it. I wonder. What if they live at this point to preserve the crime scene of the smuggling? Francesca, I need you to confirm something. This cell phone, can it take pictures? Mr. Edgeworth, I can't believe you don't know about this kind of basic stuff, sir. This looks like a very similar model to my own. And mine can take photos just fine. You think Agent Hicks could have taken some pictures with this? In particular, pictures of evidence for a smuggling case? If so, I think there may be some very inconvenient photos in here for our killer smuggler. It's all busted up, sir. Even a super prosecutor can repair a broken phone. I'll find a way, don't you worry about that. Necklace, leave now.
Objection!
The LCD screens on the inside and outside are broken, that's for sure. But that's also reason not to believe that the killer wasn't able to erase the data. What? What do you mean by that, Francesca? It looks like our killer isn't very familiar with electronics. This phone still rang when I called it, meaning that one of the LCDs went it's possible that the photos are still there inside, waiting to be accessed. All we need to do is transfer the data to my phone. Francesca, your phone, please. Very well. It's transferring. Alright, it's fine. playing it now. This is Agent Nixon was certainly trying to think with his first smoking case. Hey, Felix Red's nowhere in this book, sir. This has no meaning as piece of evidence in this murder case, right? Ooh, she's right. How much we can find out from this about Agent Mrs. Killer, sir? Does it say it? Is this the end? Is there really nothing in this photo that we can use? Wait. So, the statue's not here, that means it's taken before it got here. This is ship from Borginia. This must be Borginia. Wait. If this isn't Borginian, then the only person that can read this is... What's all this? Oh, they are cargo shipped from Borginia to Zingfa. So the reason they aren't here now is that they were dropped off in Zingfa. Mr. LeBlanc, can you tell me the contents of the boxes? Unfortunately, there is no English written on them anywhere. One cluster of boxes is written in Borginian. It says, blah, blah, blah. It is cloth in English. Cloth? Could it be? Is this for the killer? What? What for is that scary face? Miss Meal. Yes. It appears that Agent Hicks was no ordinary investigator. He left us with a piece of evidence, after all. A striking piece that will point out who the killer is. Maybe you shouldn't force your mistaken reading of a simple picture, Mr. Edward. The Virginian cargo in this piece of evidence will point us straight to the killer. The cloth.
Take that!
And what is that supposed to prove? The killer used this piece of cloth to wipe up the blood they had spilt. But there was one thing that kept that bothering me this whole time. Where did it come from? And now I have finally found my answers in this very photo. The car that was molded in Zingfa had cloth written on it. In Borginian, that is. And this is where the killer grabbed a piece from to clean the blood with. That's right. The killer was someone who could read and understand Borginian. The killer that fits that description is you, Miss Kim Neal. That's pretty flimsy. The killer probably searched through all the boxes looking for something to use. You're frantic. You don't care if the box is in English or Virginian.
Objection!
Sorry, I cannot agree with your assessment of the killer's indiscriminate nature. What? There was no need for the killer to tear through the boxes at random at all. And if the killer supposedly could not comprehend the Virginian, well then. Possibly the killer would have opened this box first. The bedsheet box.
Take that!
Hey, it says bedsheets in English right in the box, sir. Precisely. And bedsheets would be perfect for cleaning up blood, wouldn't you say? So what are you trying to say? That if I were the criminal, this box of bedsheets would have been what I would have spotted first. However, the killer chose to use some Virginian cloth. Do you have an explanation for that? The killer didn't want anyone to know that the real simple crime was this cargo hold, so they were afraid to leave sign in the box where the sheets had been opened. However, the Virginian cloth, well, that's a horse of a different color, because the killer knew that it was going to be unloaded in the Republic of Zingfa. That's right. That is why the Virginian cloth was used. And the only Virginian leader on board could have made such a calculated decision. It's you, Channy Meal. You will. It would be very easy for us to confirm if any of the boxes were resealed. All we would have to do is contact the St. Paul authorities in time. We may even find other evidence to incriminate our killer with those boxes. So what do you say, Miss Meal? I confess to your crime here and now. Or would you rather wait and see what we find out from our investigation in Zenpa? Yep, got her. He was Interpol. I couldn't stop it. I brought him here. He started taking pictures. I couldn't be found out. I was scared. I was in trouble. I You finished making all the arrangements to take this suspect in, sir. Very good, detective. What about the smuggling note? You say anything about that? We're taking her down to the precinct now. Hopefully we can get more out of her here. So there. Early approached the topic, she just started foaming at the mouth. He was scary, sir. I was prepared to come in and murder all of a sudden. Things for sure. I'm not going to solve must be serious business. It looks like there's a lot more to his case than meets the eye. Mr. Eckler. I appreciate everything you did. Thank you very much. It was nothing. In fact, I should be one thanking you for your cooperation. Surely, if it wasn't for you, I might not be here right now. Instead, I can continue to serve our passengers for flight attendant. I hope that I will please accept this with something of my appreciation. Ew! Yuck, why would you give me this? I do not want that. You could have just given it 12,000. That's. I see. You don't have to take it if you don't want to. No, I mean, I would never turn down the least generous offer. Oh, thank you. I'm sure it will serve you well. Remember, we here at Global Airlines are always ready to serve you. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. Now I must bid you farewell. May all your skies be blue, right away you go.